Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Mary Lee. Thank you for joining us. On today's show, we return to Taiwan's fire disaster at the Beimen branch of Xinying Hospital and visit the survivors. In our series of the overweight problem in Taiwan, we see how the government is spreading the message to live a healthier lifestyle. Later on today's report of Taiwan Sunset Trades, we meet 88-year-old Liu A-zhu, who can weld all sorts of metal. In Taiwan, following the fire disaster on October 23rd at the Beimen branch of Xinying Hospital, Tzu Chi volunteers have arrived at Jiali branch of Qimei Hospital to care for 3 of the fire survivors. Among the 3 is Mr. Huang, who is also a Tzu Chi care recipient. Meanwhile, the owner of the nursing home insists that the fire was not due to negligence, as the nursing home operated under the highest safety standards.
This is the scene on the first floor of Beimen branch of Xinying Hospital in Tainan City. The community clinic on the first floor has been suspended, and the second floor where the nursing home is located is sealed off as investigations continued.
No. All the doors were open. There was no problem with it. Everything was open. The emergency doors were all open.
This is the emergency exit door that connects to the nursing home on the second floor. Many question whether the door was closed when the fire happened. Whether the emergency exit doors were closed is still a question. Meanwhile, some even said the windows surrounding the atrium was sealed off. Therefore, the medical staff could not get rid of the smoke.
The fire protection system was designed with the highest standards. I don't think it will ever open again.
Unfortunately, the fire took the precious lives of 12 people. The most important thing to do now is to learn from this mistake so this tragedy won't happen again. Meanwhile, Tainan City volunteers arrived at the Jiali branch of Qimei Hospital, hoping to provide emotional support and assistance to the victims and their family members.
Today I received love from Tzu Chi and will spread it to others, to those that are in worse conditions than us.
Among the fire survivors is Tzu Chi care recipient Mr. Huang, who suffers from a stroke and has been bedridden for 2 years. Mr. Huang is a single parent with 2 young children and an elderly mother. For the past 2 years, the volunteers have provided him with love and care.
He is very lucky to survive the disaster, so we are here to visit him. When he saw us, he was so overjoyed he cried. We brought blessings from Master Zhen Yan, hoping that he can put the bad experience behind him as soon as possible.
After visiting the fire survivors and their families, the volunteers arrived at a temple where the bodies of the deceased are currently located. The volunteers said in the future they will continue to bring love and care to the survivors of the fire and their family members.
In China, after the 721 floods struck Luzhou City in Sichuan province, Tzu Chi volunteers deliver continuous care to the local residents. This time, to get an understanding of the locals' needs before the upcoming winter aid distribution, the volunteers once again visited the flood victims. Here's more.
In Sichuan's Luzhou City, after July's flooding, Tzu Chi volunteers once again visit the victims to better understand their current needs. Volunteers find that many seniors live alone in shabby, dark houses. Upstairs, there's a big hole on the roof. On this cold day, the senior is ill and is in bed resting. Tzu Chi volunteers warm her up with their care.
There are many seniors and children that have been left behind. This is a community of low-income and single-person families. They lead impoverished lives and rely on the government's financial support.
With the youngsters all leaving for the cities to find work, the elderly are left behind to fend for themselves. The empty houses that line the street have nothing worth to break in for.
Well-off families lock their doors, while the poor families don't need that, as no one will break in.
Wishing the seniors health and happiness, the volunteers are doing their best to learn their needs, to ensure that the upcoming aid supplies will be used to the best effect.
Currently, 44% of Taiwan's population is considered overweight or obese. To make problems worse, the prevalence of the car now means that no one has to walk anywhere. As people move less, they are also eating more at meals and having more unhealthy snacks. However, there is hope. Government agencies are spreading the message of the dangers of being overweight and providing citizens with information needed to start living a healthier and slimmer lifestyle.
I like going by car. Driving is more comfortable and faster.
However, several decades ago, most of the Taiwanese walked to where they had to go. But with modern advances in transportation and the ever-increasing call for more conveniences, situations like this are commonplace.
Let's go to Danshui. Okay, from Guandu to Danshui, the MRT is the fastest. MRT, no way. Driving is faster. You're there in no time. MRT is faster. No, driving is. Okay, let's see which one is faster. It will be MRT for sure. No way. Where are you? I'm near Zhuwei Station. I told you driving is faster, more convenient, and more comfortable.
With driving only taking 16 minutes and 20 seconds, and the MRT taking a total of 23 minutes and 2 seconds, the difference between the two is not large.
Taiwanese have a sort of emperor syndrome. For them, driving or taking the elevator is a source of enjoyment and a kind of sign of status. Walking or exercising is associated with labor and toil. They don't have the concept that exercise shows that they are independent, their own boss, and that they are full of vigor and health.
From about 1980, we started seeing people becoming overweight. It is an interesting trend, as in the 80s, we also saw the start of the information economy and the introduction of computers.
The search of comfort and convenience has made our lives easier, but reduced how much we are moving about.
People of earlier generations, their work had to do with some sort of labor, but now everyone sits down as they do their jobs. This is a big reason why everyone is becoming overweight. For example, if you watch TV for more than 2 hours a day, your chances of being overweight go up by 200%.
With caloric intake exceeding how much we burn a day, excess calories are stored in the body in fat cells. Not only are the size of our meals growing, but with food and sugary drinks so easily available, we are taking in more calories than ever before.
Many will skip their vegetables or fruit as they feel that they are already full and so don't want to eat them. So we are then missing out on a lot of vitamins and minerals. As well, we will lack sufficient micronutrient, which will affect our body's metabolism.
Being overweight, nutritional imbalance, and insufficient exercise are all health risks that can be life-threatening. This year, the Bureau of Health Prevention in Taiwan has again called on the 6,000 citizens in Taiwan who are overweight to lose a total of 600 tons.
Why is it that companies don't show any concern for the health of their consumers? This lose weight campaign, it is not simply directed at the questions of obesity, but is trying to change social habits, as we have seen that problems with weight are always connected to living in an unhealthy consumer environment.
By bringing attention to the problems of being overweight, the Bureau hopes to slowly create a general movement in which people learn to take better care of their health, and it seems to be working.
We are adding different ingredients these days so that the breads are not as sweet or oily. Nowadays, people are all afraid of getting fat, and so the industry has also made some changes for the better.
How to change perceptions and social habits linked to unhealthy behavior and consumption is currently the focus of NGOs and government agencies alike, as society struggles with this modern-day health epidemic. Continuing our reports on Taiwan's New Shoot Scholarship recipients, we meet 16-year-old Lü Yijie. Growing up in a single-family home, Lü has been looking after her mother who has mobility problems. Despite the hardship, Lü never thought of it as burdensome. For her efforts, this year she was honored with Tzu Chi's Filial Piety Award. Like a professional hairstylist, Yijie is giving her mother a haircut. However, Ms. Huang seems to have a few words regarding her skills.
There was no mirror, so I touched my hair, and I found my head was all shaved. She said it was easier to wash the head that way.
Though she often complains, Ms. Huang continues to let Yijie cut her hair. Yijie started to handle household chores when she was still in elementary school, and has also learned how to be careful with money. Yijie rides her bicycle in search of breakfast shops, where she asks them if they have any unwanted toast crusts.
Initially, I didn't dare to ask, and I just wondered about it. Because I feared my classmates would see me, I didn't tell the shop owner that the crusts were for my mom, but said they were for my dogs.
A bag of toast crusts can feed Yijie and her mother for many days. After the meals, Yijie also gives her mother at least 30 minutes of foot massage.
No, because I don't want her legs to atrophy.
As she is answering the questions, Yijie's hands do not stop moving, so we toss out another question.
Because I grew up with my mother, and I feel that she will die.
At the age of 16, Yijie is forced to be strong and look after her mother, though she still has her own weakness.
I feel very relieved. If Yijie was not here, I don't know how I would live.
In order not to worry her mother, Yijie quickly wipes away her tears.
Being filial to my mom is a natural thing. Now that my mother needs my help, I will definitely help her.
Thanks to Tzu Chi volunteers, this family now is full of warmth. Ms. Huang also decided to join Tzu Chi and has signed an organ donation card.
She used to look worried all the time. Now she smiles a lot.
Yijie's demonstration of filial piety to her mother won her Tzu Chi Filial Piety Award. However, for Yijie, looking after her mother is not work, but a blessing. In our feature reports on Taiwan's sunset trades, we meet 88-year-old Liu A-zhu, who has over 7 decades of experience in welding metal. Despite his age, the talented craftsman is able to make any sort of light with his skillful hands. Let's take a look.
With a tool in hand, welding master Liu A-zhu is turning a flat piece of iron into a cylinder. At his workstation, while Liu heats up the metal, he uses a wooden stick to apply hydrochloric acid in areas where the iron pieces will be fastened together.
When soldering iron, we use hydrochloric acid to clean off the dirt. When we are making teapots, all we have to do is to increase the viscousness. New products don't require cleaning. Only when it goes rusty, then we use the acid to clean it. When we are repairing it, we use this acid before welding.
Next, the heated iron is taken out and made into strips to put around the seams. After a few repeated moves, the metal is completely sealed and Leo then solders the pipe inside the light. Within 15 minutes, a traditional gas lantern is made. When the water is boiled, the stones and water chemically react to release acetylene, a colorless flammable gas.
At the end of the Japanese colonial era, we already had gas lights. Come nighttime, every household was dark, but luckily we had gas lights. It sold really well.
After finishing a gas light, the artisan cannot wait to demonstrate the other things he can make.
When I was young, I worked really hard, and in just one day, I could make more than 10, but I would have to work for 12 hours a day to reach that number.
Apart from making lights to support his family, in the Japanese colonial period, the lights also brought warmth to poor families. Leo is also an expert at repairing kitchenware. Leo's neighbor, Mr. Xie, often comes to him for help when he has broken utensils. And the talented craftsman provides the service free of charge to his old neighbors.
I've been living in this neighborhood for over 20 years, and I always ask him for help, whether it is pots or ladles.
Seeing these welding masters repairing tools at home was rare, as in the early days, things worked quite differently.
In the early days, I would carry a toolbox and go door to door to fix pots and kitchenware for others. Back in those days, we did everything ourselves. If we were to fix everything for one family, sometimes it would take 2 to 3 days.
With his skillful hands and the determination to see things through, Leo Azhu has witnessed the war and the ups and downs people went through then.
Before, when a family's aluminum-made pot was broken and there was a hole, they would just use a cloth to cover it. When I went to repair it for them, I would use stainless steel to fix the hole. We had no other way as we could not buy new ones.
On a wall in Leo's house, one can find all sorts of stainless steel farming tools, ladles and teapots, all handmade by the craftsmen.
The seedlings come in a bunch, so we use this and tear it into smaller pieces, and it is easier to plant in the field too. Nowadays, people don't use it anymore. There are a few that still buy them because they now use this to pick strawberries.
Though life hasn't been easy, Leo was able to feed his family of 8 with meager income from welding iron products.
You can say my father started the business from scratch and raised me and my 5 siblings. Our family wasn't well off, so when we were little, we saw how busy our father worked, and we had no time like other children to go out. Instead, we stayed at home to help my father.
After his children grew up, they all moved on with their lives, leaving Leo fighting to keep the sunset trade in Miaoli going all by himself.
I'm still very passionate and my mind works perfectly fine. I want to continue to do this and create many more products.
Inside the store are pieces of farming tools that remind one of life in the countryside, all of which are symbolic of the past.
In Malaysia, in 2007, the Tzu Chi Kuala Lumpur Selangor chapter and UNHCR established the UNHCR Tzu Chi Education Center, hoping to provide basic education to refugee children. Recently, Tzu Chi and the UNHCR joined hands to hold a sports day. The event was attended by approximately 900 people, including students, parents, and teachers from 12 refugee schools in Kuala Lumpur.
under the welcome of Tzu Chi volunteers, students, parents, and teachers from 12 different refugee schools happily attend the sports day held by the Tzu Chi Kuala Lumpur Selangor chapter and the UNHCR.
Congratulations to everybody who's been involved. UNHCR is very happy to play a small role in helping make this possible, so thank you and have a good day.
The sports day is held at this big stadium, and with so many schools participating, the students can get to know each other. It's a great experience.
Pick up the ball and run again.
Come on, keep going. Yes, you can do it.
Parent and child together finish the race. Children happily run under the blue sky, while parents and teachers also put aside their worries and enjoyed the day.
My son woke up around 5 a.m. and waited for me to get up. He was very excited because he wanted to win his race.
This is the first time I've attended such an event. It was very touching. I want to come next year too.
In spite of the hardship in Malaysia, for these refugee children, as long as they have the chance to pursue their dreams, they will have a bright future ahead.
Continuing on our last report, Ms. Rabia, a teacher from Tamak Tasik Tambahan Refugee Education Center, led her students to show team spirit with self-made banners and pom-poms at the Sports Day event. She came to teach at the school due to an inspirational teacher from her past who encouraged her to learn. At the Sports Day, the students from Taman Tasik Tambahan Refugee Education Center holds up a banner and waves to the crowd with pom-poms they made themselves. The ideas all came from Ms. Rabia.
The slogan is for Angry Bird this year. We are all together and then we best protect ourselves together.
Ms. Rabia hopes to unite the hearts of students and teachers by working together on Sports Day cheering items.
This human and the love is, meaning is we are together in everything. Then the wording is I love it, play it and leave it. Love means we love to play. And then when we are lost, never mind, we leave it.
On your mark, get set.
On Sports Day, teachers and students alike are having a good time despite winning or losing.
Oh, actually I'm very, very happy. And then I'm happy for my children also, okay? Even though they got no much prizes, but still they are happy and they enjoy themselves. That is important.
Ms. Rabia gave up a prestigious job elsewhere to come to educate the students at the Refugee Education Center because of something that inspired her in the past.
When I was in Standard 3, I don't know ABC. I don't know 1, 2, 3. My teacher, she's called Indra. Until now, I cannot forget her because of her, I can study, I can read.
Ms. Rabia's elementary teacher's spirit of teaching continues on with Ms. Rabia's teaching of the refugee students.
Ms. Rabia is a very responsible teacher. She treats her students with love and care. We are very grateful for her.
This one I really appreciate, and then thank you very much to do something good for them. For that, I really appreciate what you all done for us. Thank you very much, Tzu Chi.
With the love of teachers and Tzu Chi's assistants, these refugee children are on even foot with everyone else. Students at Hualien's Tzu Chi Senior High School, affiliated with Tzu Chi University, decided to start a stationery drive and sent them to the children at Zimbabwe's Rungu Elementary School. Thanks to the students' efforts, over 500 stationery were collected. We will leave you with these images.